let me get this straight. You're going to put your crown into the eternal flame, and then you'll suddenly grow as big as a house?
A mountain!
The eternal flame that Odin keeps locked away on Asgard.
Odin is not on Asgard. And your absence has left the throne defenseless.
Okay, so where is it, this crown?
This is my crown, the source of my power.
Oh, that's a crown. I thought it was a big eyebrow.
It's a crown.
Anyway, it sounds like all I have to do to stop Ragnarok is rip that thing off your head.
But Ragnarok has already begun. You cannot stop it.
Hey guys, it's Lord here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Infinity Saga Surtur from Thor Ragnarok. That's right, the 13-inch Demon of Asgard, voiced by Mr. Clancy Brown himself, has finally made his way into the Marvel Legends line. Hot dog! An MCU figure that doesn't suck! Yeah, there have been plenty that haven't, but this is one that I actually really wanted and had on pre-order, but my dad, aka Mr. Brian, went to the local Walmart the other day and they had 3 of these. So yeah, that's interesting. So Walmart can get the 13-inch demon-looking guy, but Target can't get the Spawn stuff? Whatever. But as far as his accessories go, he comes with 2 extra hands. He's got a grip hand for the right side, which kind of sucks that this is in and out as opposed to up and down, because that just makes sense for the sword. And then he's got a fist for his left side. I wish he came with 2 fists and then 2 of these open hands, but he just comes with 1 of each. Oh well, I guess. And of course he comes with his mighty sword. It's big arse sword that's almost big enough for me to use as a dagger. This thing is huge. It's almost as big as he is. Goes up to like his nose. This thing looks awesome. Looks killer. I love this. Chop someone up good with that. And then of course we have Surtur himself. Now one thing, get this right out of the way, his hips. I wouldn't really worry about these breaking, but they do flex a little bit. I think a lot of Marvel Legends do that. The Omega Red Body has a tendency to do that sometimes, so, you know, just be careful. You don't want to break it. If something doesn't move, heat it up, you know. Same old, right? But I haven't had any QC issues with this guy, or problems with this guy, so I'm going to just tell you right now to get your butt out to the store and buy this thing. This thing is freaking sweet. Possibly one of the top 10 Legends of the year. I know that's kind of cheating because he is $50 and he ought to be worth it, but at the end of the day, you can get this guy for $50 or you can get MODOK for $50, and I think we all know where the better value is. Yeah, MODOK's big, but you can't really do anything with him. If you want to go one step further, you can get this guy for $50 or you can get SpongeBob for $55, so, I mean, whatever floats your boat, but I'm going to go with the giant demon guy who could destroy the planet. So, looking at Surtur here, I don't really remember what he looked like from Thor Ragnarok exactly. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. I was still in college when that movie came out. I want to say I saw it in 2018 when it went on DVD, but don't hold me to that. I don't remember what year it came out. I do remember that wave. It had Hela, it had Loki, Thor, the Build-A-Figure was the Gladiator Hulk, so I do have some of the Ragnarok figures, and then there was a Valkyrie in a 2-pack, right? But as far as the Infinity Saga, this is the only one I have. I do want Odin, I do want the Ironmonger set, and the Iron Man Mark III from the first Iron Man movie, but I haven't seen those up here. But I'll just give you a quick turn around of this guy. Look at all the detail on this thing. They went to town on this figure, okay? And I don't really know what this guy would have cost if he wasn't an Infinity Saga figure, because I know these are a little bit more expensive. But I think you're getting your money's worth here. I think this is a fair value. $50, you're getting like a foot tall figure, 13 inches to the top of his horns, I believe. Comes with this, again, monster of a sword and a couple of extra hands. I think you're getting what you pay for. It would have been nice if we got another fist hand and another claw hand, maybe, because that's the hand I have on him right now, because it looks freaking sweet. But, you know, this is 100% unique tooling. I don't know if they're going to use this again on a comic book version, maybe, where he's just kind of matte red with the fire shaded on top of him. But another thing to note, he is translucent. I don't know if you can see my hand passing through there, but he is translucent. So he does look really, really cool. But articulation on this guy, he's got a double ball peg in the head, but you do get a decent enough range out of it. I'll tilt him down this way. Sorry, I'm not used to reviewing like giant figures, so you have to bear with me. But he can look down, he can look up, he can tilt a little bit. He can rotate side to side. Not the best range out of that, but it's not horrible. The shoulders are really hindered, though. The shoulders only go out about that far. That kind of sucks. This one goes out a little bit more, but not by a lot. He does, of course, rotate. They are ratcheted somewhat, so that's nice. He's got a bicep cut. Double joint at the elbow. Now, let me tell you what. This guy has the tightest articulation I've had on one of these in a long time. Like, these double jointed elbows and the knees, in fact, are super duper tight. I had to use, like, both hands to get him to move the first time. Please excuse all the noise. I got his box supporting the camera so you can see all of them. And then he has a hinge and swivel at the wrist. Standard stuff. This side actually has an up and down hinge, but of course this is the one I'm going to use, and it's loose. It's looser than the rest of them. It's not terrible, but it's not as tight as this side. That would have been nice. Diaphragm joint. It kicks forward, kicks back a little bit. He does have some tilt side to side. He was kind of creaky when I first opened him, but that seems to be gone now. And you can rotate him. Best diaphragm joint in the game right here. This diaphragm joint's solid. Needs a little bit more range on other characters. I wouldn't expect Surtur to be doing ninja flips and stuff, but, you know, it gets decent enough range, and it's super tight. It's not loose. It's not floppy. I love it. Ab crunch works fine. It's not ratcheted, but it's got enough friction in there to keep it from flopping around. Hips are kind of on ratchets. They are on that kind of barbell joint, or dumbbell, ball peg joint that goes out to the hip. And you can spread his legs out, you can kick them forward and back. Again, this side is a little bit more flexible than the other one, so I don't know what's up with that. I mean, you can see I bend this and it kind of flexes there. I wouldn't really worry about this too much. You don't want to break it, obviously, but I don't have any stress marks or anything that is of concern in this area of the figure, so I'm not going to really worry about it. But, you know, if these are tight, I would advise that you heat them up first before you go cranking on them. He does have a thigh cut that's really tight. Nice and tight. Double jointed knee. Now this is where it was tight. Yeah. This is a workout to move that leg, man, but you can get good range out of that. Man. And then he does have a calf swivel, which I think is stupid. Why did they do that? At least put it like right before the hinge swivel joint in the foot. But, of course, he has a hinge in the foot with a rocker. That's a lot more fluid now than the other day. Oh. I have had this guy posed for a couple of days, and it is hotter than a monkey's uncle in here. So, that's probably why he's a little bit more gummy today than he was, say, yesterday, where it was kind of cool. It's kind of cool. But, there you go. There is Surtur in all of his demonic glory. He does have a bit of a wide stance. You can't bring his legs in any further than that, which kind of sucks, but, you know, it's whatever. At least I don't think you can. I don't know. Maybe I'll put a little bit of lubricant in there just to loosen that up a little more. See if I can push those in any more than they already are. I don't think you can, though. It looks fine. You know, it doesn't look ridiculous. It's not like he's doing the splits in a neutral stance, but it would be nice to bring those hips in a little bit more just so he takes up a little less real estate. And if you're wondering, the sword is not very hard to get in his hand at all, especially not when it's this hot. There you go. You kind of use it to help prop himself up. His feet are a little loose, but you can get him to stand. He's not too cumbersome to work with. He's not like the Violator from that Spawn line, that's for sure. I don't have that figure, but I know he's a little bit tricky to stand because of the weight. But this guy, he is hollow in the torso. He's pretty much hollow throughout, but he is pinless. And he is pretty light, but he also has some heft to him. But he's not gonna take out a shelf per se if you pose him right. So yeah, if I just get him centered here, it's driving my OCD up a wall. That's good enough. But with that being said, let's take a look at some comparisons. First up here is Sir Turd next to a couple of standard size, quote unquote. I'm not really sure about that. They are armored characters. Standard sized Marvel Legends figures. We have the modular armor Iron Man and Ultron from the Ursa Major Wave. And as you can see, these guys go up to what? His kneecap? This dude is massive. Up next, here he is next to a couple of Build-A-Figure sized figures. We have the Fan Channel Monster Venom, which is a reissue of a Build-A-Figure. Then we have the Target exclusive Red Hulk, who is BAF size but wasn't a Build-A-Figure, but you get the idea. This dude dwarfs even the largest of Marvel Legends figures that we're used to getting. And last but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus and the Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn. And for those of you who wanted to use this guy with your Mythic Legions, I'd say he makes a pretty nice devil-type character for that line. Or if you wanted to use him as the devil from Spawn, you could do that as well. Malboja's technically not the devil, for those of you who are diehard Spawn fans. There is an actual devil and there was an actual god. I'm not sure what the devil looked like in Spawn, but I'm guessing maybe something like this. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. But with that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and if you haven't guessed it by now, I freaking love this thing. This may be one of my top Marvel Legends of the year, and while that's not really fair, because he's $50 and on top of that, he's an MCU figure, which always seem to get more budget than the comic figures. Gotta be honest, there hasn't been a ton of Marvel Legends that have really blown me away like this guy or the Ultron from the Ursa Major Wave. That said, despite the price point being, $50, I think you're getting what you're paying for here. Is he the Spawn Universe Violator? No, that thing definitely takes him on beef and weight and really overall size. But this thing, I think, is a little bit more playable than that figure. That figure you want to pose and leave it alone. This guy you could pose around however you want, and he's going to hold up no matter what because, well, again, he doesn't have the weight to factor in there. And he's actually really well articulated for a big guy. And who could go wrong with a 13-inch demon of total metal awesomeness? Nobody. So with that being said, I would highly recommend you pick this guy up if you're at all a fan of Thor, the character, because I don't really see us getting a comic book version of this guy anytime soon, and if we do, it's probably just going to be a repaint of this. Or if you're a fan of Thor Ragnarok like I am, I think that's one of the better MCU movies to come out in the past 5 years. Well, that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and the notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. Gotta show that algorithm who's boss, right? Also, don't forget to hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions and leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this guy, whether you want it, love it, or hate it. I know not everyone's going to love this. It is a giant demon figure after all, which, again, surprises me why it was at Walmart. But, as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is. Until next time, I will catch you guys later.